These Iraqi Shia Muslim fighters are demonstrating against Israel on the streets of Baghdad. They're part of the Popular Mobilization Forces, or PMF, that was set up in 2014 to fight ISIL. 2 years later, the PMF were integrated into Iraq's security forces. But to the United States, it's a proxy militia for Iran. Some PMF factions say they'd support Tehran in any military confrontation with the US, and that's made many in Iraq's Sunni Muslim community nervous. This is a mosque in Fallujah in Anbar province, often called Iraq's Sunni heartland.
We call on politicians and security forces to save Iraq from being dragged into a regional conflict that might affect the ethnic and sectarian balance in Iraq.
During a visit to Baghdad last week by the Iranian foreign minister, his Iraqi counterpart, Mohammed Ali al-Hakim, said Iraq would stand by Iran in the face of increased US sanctions. And he said Iraq rejected the idea of the US taking any unilateral action against its most powerful ally in the region. The Iraqi government has offered to be a mediator between the US and Iran. At an emergency summit in Saudi Arabia last week, the Iraqi delegation refused to sign an Arab League statement condemning Iran. In Anbar province, many of the towns still lie in ruins a year and a half after victory was declared over ISIL in Iraq. Iraq's Sunnis have long complained of neglect by repeated Shia-led governments, and many don't trust the Iran-backed PMF.
We are of course afraid. We are sick of these wars. Anbar towns like Fallujah have suffered so much conflict, and all we gained was devastation and destruction.
Sunni tribal leaders say they are concerned about potential sectarian violence if there was an escalation between the US and Iran.
We hope that Iraq will stay away from this crisis. It's a turbulent situation. Iraqis have suffered enough.
Analysts say a military escalation between the US and Iran seems unlikely, but as tension continues, many of Iraq's Sunnis fear they may be being marginalized by the Iraqi government again as it tries to mediate and restore calm. Stratford, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.